Let's do 1 liter of normal saline. Can we do this quickly? Yes, you can. 1 liter of normal saline, what does that mean to you? It means that you are distributing throughout the ECF. What is the percentage or fraction of ECF that you want to know for your boards and wards right now? 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4. That's it. Why even worry about the ICF when you don't have to? So be smart about how you study. Be smart about how you apply the information. And why would you want to give normal saline in your patient, most likely? Who was that patient that was coming into your ER? Probably a patient that was severely hypovolemic, correct? So you're giving them 1 liter of normal saline. Of this, you'll have 3/4, 1/4. 3/4 would be where? In the interstitium. 1/4 would be in your plasma. We have 750 and we have 250. Of these two compartments, and that patient that came in with hypovolemia, clinically, what was their blood pressure? Decreased. How would you then increase the blood pressure? Which compartment's more important? The intravascular space. So of these two values, 250 or 750, what's the target? 250, right? The 250 is what helped intravascular volume raise the blood pressure. I hope that's clear. And every time that you go through IV fluids, I don't care, as I said, doesn't matter, first year medical school student, or if you're a resident, your target, your objective is, well, how much of my fluid do I need to then get into my intravascular space? And then from there, you can play around. Now let's do half normal saline. Now things become a little bit more complicated, but walk you through this. Take a deep breath. If you hate math, don't do that. Don't hate anything in medicine, because then you automatically put up a barrier and you end up providing resistance that's not necessary. Your job is to reduce that resistance. It's your job to, can I have fun with you? Tell me as to what decrease of resistance when you talk about afterload. How about TPR? So you're going to be the alpha-1 antagonist. You are the sin drug, my friend. So you are the prazosin, who is an alpha-1 antagonist, removing the resistor through all of your learning. So your afterload decreases, and my goodness gracious, you are just consuming this information. Let's take a look at half normal saline, all jokes aside. 500 cc of this is free water. What about this? It's going to be distributed throughout total bottle water. What about that 500 cc of normal saline? Well, that'll be only in the ECF. Okay, next step. Let's deal with only right now the 500. Pay attention. What kind of water? Free water. It'll be distributed throughout total body water. What is it? Predict what those fractions are, so this will make sense. And this is how you do your questions too. Any question that you get, you predict as to what you should find in the answer choice so that you cut down on wasting time. And if it's there, fantastic. If it's not, then maybe you do a little bit more thinking. But if you look for it first in the answer choice, it might confuse you further, especially when you get your answer choices that go A from K. That's a lot of answer choices. I'm not even joking. All right, total body water. We're going to go through ECF and ICF. 2/3 will be where? ICF. 1/3 will be ECF. So therefore, for 500 cc, we'll take that third, and that will then remain in your ECF. What are you going to do next? What's your objective? I told you. And now I sound like a broken record. What is your objective? Is to see as to how much of the fluid you get into your intravascular compartment or your plasma. So we're going to take this ECF and do what with it? Further divide it into 3/4 and 1/4, but not quite yet. There's 167 of the 500. There's 333 of the 500 in the ICF. Let's let the ICF go, because that does not control blood pressure. That is not what is clinically relevant right now. We're still left with another 500 cc. What about this? Normal saline. You tell me the fraction that we're going to use here. 1/4, 3/4, correct? Which one are you paying attention to? 167. 1/4 will remain in the intravascular space. Now, how did we get here? We took the 500, right? And we divided this into your TBW with water, and then we took the 500 for normal saline, and then take 3/4 or 1/4. How in the world did we get 667 right now? How did we get that? The 500. Pay attention. That 500 cc of normal saline, what is it? Only ECF. From the previous discussion, the water that you're seeing up here, how much of that water, free water, was in the ECF? 167. Good. Would you tell me, at this point, with 1 liter of half normal saline, how much of this is being distributed in total in the ECF? 500 plus 167 gives you 667. And that's what you see here, the 667. Of that 667, what is the most important objective? How much of that 667 got into your plasma or intravascular space? Hence, we get 167. Now, this would be the most complicated question that you would get as far as your medical school is concerned. Even in residency, you'll do this in your head, and when an attending asks you, then you know exactly as to what he's looking for. How much of this fluid that you're giving, whatever IV fluid that you might be using, is then entering the intravascular space. Now, just to be technical, we have the rest of the 500 in the interstitial space. Whatever. There it is. Okay, but your objective, intravascular space. Got it? If you haven't, make sure you review this real quick. You'll have it. Just no resistance. Just be open to what's happening here. Listen to every single term that I said, because it will then help you to figure out the differences of free water, ECF, intravascular space.